My name is Lilly-Ann Johnson, and this is my presentation, American Literature Since 1901. This first slide will include a few famous African American writers. First is Maya Angelou, a poet, novelist, and activist. She is well known for many writings, such as her autobiography, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, discussing how her love of literature and strength helped her face injustice. She received many awards and honors, like the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and recited her famous On the Pulse of Morning at Bill Clinton's inauguration. Langston Hughes was predominantly a poet who often wrote about racial difficulties. In his poem Harlem, it discusses the American dream and how it was inaccessible for African Americans at the time. He is known to be one of the pioneers of the style of writing known as jazz poetry, which combines the rhythms found in the music of blues and jazz with poetry. He was a prolific activist, writing even for the NAACP and inspiring notable names like Martin Luther King Jr. This slide will discuss the works of a few indigenous authors. Louise Erdrich is a registered member of the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa Indians of North Dakota, which is a recognized group of Ojibwe peoples. One of her most notable works is titled Love Medicine, the first chapter being originally a small story under the title The World's Greatest Fisherman that she wrote and entered into a small local competition. She writes many children's novels and operates a bookstore named Birchbark Books and Native Arts in Minneapolis, which focused on indigenous American literature. Stephen Graham Jones is a member of the Blackfeet tribe of the Blackfeet Indian Reservation of Montana. He writes horror novels such as his book The Only Good Indians, which focuses on 4 indigenous men's experiences with their haunting past. He also worked as an English professor at the University of Colorado Boulder. This slide will discuss Mexican-American authors. Sandra Cisneros wrote many novels. Her debut novel, The House on Mango Street, was a story written to relate to her own upbringing and follows a young girl as she grows up in a poor neighborhood navigating her own identity. She started 2 nonprofit organizations, the Macondo Foundation and the Alfredo Cisneros del Moral Foundation, and is famously quoted as saying that poetry is her medicine. Jose Olivares is a modern poet, writing often about the complexity of immigration and discrimination, as seen in his poetry book, Citizen Illegal. His poetry is often featured in the New York Times, among other notable places, and he is an active performer to this day. This slide will discuss the writings of notorious Asian American authors. Amy Tom was a Chinese novelist whose notorious book, The Joy Luck Club, follows the struggles of 4 immigrant mothers and their American daughters. This book was eventually adapted into a movie title under the same name in 1993. When she was younger, both her father and brother passed from a brain tumor, which affected her greatly and inspired many of her works. Ken Liu is a fictional writer who writes fantasy novels such as his infamous The Dandelion Dynasty, which takes place in a silkpunk world. His short story, The Paper Menagerie, is the first fictional writing to win all of the Nebula, Hugo, and World Fantasy Awards. A collection of his short stories inspired the show Pantheon. The final slide will discuss white American authors. Lois Lowry is an author well known for multiple titles such as The Giver, which is a dystopian novel. She discusses difficult themes such as dystopia and the Holocaust and makes them digestible and understandable for younger audiences. She has also earned 2 Newbery Medals for her children's books. Stephen King is an influential horror author, especially known for his book It, with the main character being a psychopathic clown. Many of his novels, including It, have been released into movie adaptations. He plays guitar in a charity band called Rock Bottom Remainders with other authors. Thank you.